Hi, this is Jason Fielder with the Daily Forex Report for October 20th. We are currently looking at the U.S.-Japanese yen pair. This particular pair did close up today. It had a fairly large range from high to low. As you can see, we broke down fairly far. We are looking for this pair to continue moving sideways with a bias that is sideways. Look for it to potentially move as high as 91.56. Possibly as low as 89.45. Look for some resistance around 91.12 and look for some support around 90.03. Now let's take a look at the Euro USD pair. This particular pair closed down today. It had a fairly large range as well. It is moving sideways for the most part and biased is sideways as well. Look for it to potentially move as high as 1.5068 and possibly as low as 148.13. Look for some resistance around 149.68 and look for some support around 148.77. Now, switching to the pound US dollar pair. This pair closed down today. It did move much higher before pulling back. We are expecting this pair to continue moving sideways with a bias to the upside. Look for it to potentially move as high as 1.6582, possibly as low as 1.6224. Look for some resistance around 164.86 and look for some support around 163.26. Now let's take a look at the US dollar Swiss pair. Pair closed up. It did have a fairly large range open to close. We are expecting this pair to continue moving sideways with a bias that is to the downside. Look for it to potentially move as high as 1.0229, possibly as low as 1.0020. Look for some resistance around 150 and look for some support around 1.0081. Now, as far as news announcements goes, at 4:30 Eastern Time, we have the Bank of England releasing their minutes. No real consensus on that. That's just going to be minutes that they're going to release. Typically what happens is you have a news announcement and then they'll release the minutes later on, and typically it doesn't really affect anything as far as the market goes. Now at 2 o'clock we're having the U.S. Fed releasing their Book of Economic Report. Here again, don't know how this will necessarily affect the market. We also have around the 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time frame, we're going to have the Canadian dollar releasing their retail sales for October. Consensus on that is that retail sales have moved higher from negative 0.6% up to 0.4%, moving into positive territory, which of course is always good for the Canadian dollar if the numbers come out at that level. Well, that about wraps up that. Now let's take a look at what we're looking for. Yesterday, our little trade on the 4-hour came to pass. It definitely dipped through two of our targets. I do want to let you take a look at the pound US dollar on the 4-hour time frame. We have an inside bar that's been created. I don't know if it will dip down, but let me show you. Let me tag a few areas that I would definitely take note of and kind of show you what I'm thinking. Okay, we have essentially a short. If we get a breakout, I seriously doubt we'll get a breakout to the upside. It's a pretty good ways from the market currently, although it is moving higher. But if this were to reverse and come down over this next 4-hour period, possibly even 8-hour period, I'd look to short around the 1.6328 level and then come on down about 10 pips down to this level. I do believe this will happen. I mean, you see the past several 4-hour time frames, it blew right through it without really pausing. I mean, we have 7 examples there, or 8 actually, 8 examples of this pair blowing through those numbers between this point and this point without really pausing. So what we want to do is look for that. If you're scalping, then that's the trade right there. That's the trade for you right there. Now, if you want to give this trade a little more teeth, which, you know, having it run a little bit further is always a good thing, you can bring it on down to this support level, which has been tagged several times over the past several 4-hour time periods. So right here, you're looking at netting about 10 pips right in here. And if you want to go ahead and take it a little bit further down, you can look for about 40 pips is what I would look for. I would probably go to break even at this point if I was going to let it run for 40 pips and see if it would go ahead and take it at a 40 pip profit. Well, that's kind of what I'm looking for over the next couple hours. Until next time, this is Jason Fielder. Good trading.